The Beck and Say secret partnership. Imagine a partnership where you can target 168 million cell phone users, okay, in various markets. And what the hell is going on with Bitcoin right now? Hey, let me know if you want to continue with the Simon intro. I know it takes a little while, but for now, we'll just do the Indigo Saint intro. Let's get it. Boom. Let's get it. Indigo Saint in the building. Blackrue Investing. Let's go.
Who's this producer?
Best believe I was Blackrue Investing. With your money, you ain't gotta be guessing. Profits is what we manifesting, so we binge on that Blackrue Investing. Best believe I was Blackrue Investing. Got course in this race, we ain't resting. We got stocks, we got crypto with a blessing. So thank God for that Blackrue Investing. Best believe I was Blackrue Investing.
What is up, Root Crew? Again, let me know if you want to continue with the Simon intro. I'm going to not go with it today. We have a lot of information to cover, but I can continue going with it if you guys like it. But let's get into it today. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. One thing I want to ask you guys, big favor. Please go over to my TikTok here. Let me go ahead and share that for you. It never shares the one that I want to share off the bat. But go ahead and go over there and follow me and subscribe to me. When I get 1,000 people, I can finally go live stream on TikTok. So very important if you guys can get over there and follow me on TikTok. I really want to live stream from there. It'll do some good. It'll bring more revenue to the show. So definitely follow me over there. It's at Blackrue Investing over on TikTok. And yeah, so please follow me over there, guys, if you haven't already. But let's get into this. Let's go straight into this. Like, a lot of people don't talk about Say that much, but I very much think that there is a secret partnership going on there. Let's just start here, okay? Knowing that Securitize, Say is a part of Securitize, along with a lot of other people that ZEBEC is partnered with, like Ripple, XRP, Solana, some others here, Wormhole, Zero Hash, right? So there's a lot of other people here with Securitize that ZEBEC is partnered with, and I also believe that ZEBEC is partnered with Say, okay? But also, Say is partnered here on Ondo, as you can see, Say Network, which we know, we can scroll all the way down here, that ZEBEC is also partnered with Ondo, along with XRP Ledger and a couple other different people that ZEBEC is partnered with here. But of course, more on that later. I can see some regulars in the house. What's up, King Pound? What is up? That one guy. What's up? Rise Above, Patreon member in the house. What's up, Kevin Garrett? Patreon member in the house. Root Crew member in the house. What is up, Pinot Q? Yeah, we're getting into it here. So one of the things also I want to let you guys know is this is a continuation episode. This is kind of a continuation of everything that we've been learning here with LayerZero. They're going to come up. Tempo and ZEBEC. And also, definitely go check this out. This is not watched as much as people watch my ZEBEC videos. Maybe they don't know about Kaya, but Kaya is really onboarding a lot of value to ZEBEC. If that partnership gets confirmed, Line and Kakao Talk, really big here. Maybe I need to change the title up a little bit on this so people actually realize the amount of users that could possibly be reached with Kaya there. You got Line and Kakao Talk users. So maybe I change up that title a bit. Just like I might even change up this title a bit too. But people are not going to realize with this SEI partnership, SEI is doing some big things, not only with Ondo, but they're already integrated into a Chinese cell phone. Okay. And that cell phone is sold a lot in Greece. It's also sold a lot in India. I think they're the third biggest cell phone provider in the world. Okay. So they even dwarf like Solana phones and stuff like that. But again, let's continue here. So the first thing right off the bat, just to let you know that there's some smoke and fire here. SEI is partnered with Circle, okay? USDC and CCTP version 2 are live on SEI. Now, also, we're going to get into some speculation here too with SEI, where maybe even we're undervaluing ZEBEC, okay? And this is something we'll have to get from ZEBEC later. This is kind of me just speculating a little bit on something I think that the SEI thing kind of points out that ZEBEC could possibly be, okay? So, but let's continue. Native USDC and CCTP version 2 are live on SEI Network. Circle Mint now provides full support for native USDC on SEI, offering institutional grade access to USDC liquidity through SEI's high performance infrastructure. So you can mint it on there, okay? Native USDC on SEI brings institutional grade infrastructure to the fastest L1, unlike bridge tokens that carry counterparty risk and friction. Native USDC is issued directly on Circle on SEI, delivering the trust and capital efficiency that builders demand. Okay. Access to the world's largest regulated stablecoin, native cross-chain right? Transfers across 13 blockchains with one-to-one capital efficiency, no slippage, no bridges. Direct institutional on-ramps through Circle Mint. Institutional grade money and institutional grade infrastructure. Native USDC on SEI leverages sub 400 millisecond finality. Okay. Now, this is something too that I think people don't understand with this, right? With this finality, that things are going to move so quickly, right? That the fees that the bank used to get, these small fees that they're going to get, since things move so quickly, they're going to get way more money than what they would have got with the old fee system. And I know you're thinking like, how is that true? Because before they would charge like 6 or 10% interest. Let's just do a small little math problem, right? Let's say that it takes you 10 days, or I'm sorry, 2 days, 2 to 3 days to clear a transaction in a normal system. And you charge like 10% fees, okay? Because you got to get your auditors to check it. You got to figure out if it clears on both ends of the bank. You got to, make sure, everything is audited well. The customer on both sides. At the shortest amount of time, it could take 2 days. With SEI, with the blockchain, with Ripple and XRP Ledger, it's near instant finality. So let's say something that took you 10%, one deal that takes 2 days or 3 days, let's say 2 days. 2 days, 10% fees. So if you had near instant fees, you still got the 2 day time limit, but let's just say the percentage was 1%. So now all you need is 11 deals that are going to finish in near sub-second finality because they know who you are. They can audit it immediately. It's going to finish in near instant finality. At 1% fees, all you need is 11 deals. 11 deals that are going to finish almost instantly to overtake the one that took you 2 days because of the slow process we have now. So think about that. Now, again, you got the whole 2 days and things finish in near instantly. So you're going to process way more than 11 transactions, right? And again, you're probably going to have a lower percentage than 1%, but I was just trying to use a lower percentage. Even if we had 0.5%, 21 deals, you're still coming out ahead quicker than the other one. You're time limited to one deal in 2 days. Okay. So I think people are really missing that with the near instant finality. The velocity of payments are going to be so crazy where these small fees are going to give banks more money than the large fees, but the slower confirmation time. Okay. And the nostro vostro and all of that. Okay. So banks are going to get paid. And then when you think about AI agents doing this instead of humans, the amount of transactions that they can get done, man, shut the door. There's going to be so much that these guys get from fees. So much that these guys get from fees. Like, and I think that's what everybody is missing. Like, okay, well, the bank would never do this because they're going to miss out on so many fees. No, the bank would do this because they're going to gain so many fees. Okay. And just a little aside there. With full ERC20 composability to power the next generation of programmable finance, native access to USDC on SEI, businesses can readily access on-off ramps for converting fiat currency to USDC on SEI on Circle Mint. End users can access USDC through a network of providers and can visit USDC on the SEI product page. So all of that is fantastic. And now we're going to get into the kicker to me that really shows that there's a secret, say, hidden partnership here. That Ondo's USDY is live on SEI for tokenized treasuries, meeting high performance infrastructure. So this was this year, 2026. Ondo's USDY is live on SEI. And SEI, it seems to be that SEI can really meet this high performance infrastructure that these banks, that these treasuries need. Okay. So SEI seems to be a key piece for that. Okay. And they're going to go into it down here some, right? So I think people are mad sleeping on SEI, and we already know here that ZEBEC is using USDY, and they're partnered with Ondo for USDY with the ZEBEC card, right? And we're going to hear more about that later. We're going to hear more about that from the company later as they deepen their relationship with Ondo, and I think quite possibly they're going to do Ondo cards on the or you can buy tokenized stocks on the ZEBEC super app. Okay, but just to show you here, we'll go bring that back up again. So USDY and Ondo with the ZEBEC silver card. So it literally allows people to earn yield and have a debit card. So literally your money never has to be stagnant. It's always earning the yield on the USDY, even while it's completely liquid on a card that you can use anywhere. That MasterCard is accepted, right? I think they have Visa as well, but MasterCard is what they normally use, right? So very, very, very huge there. Okay. Now, couple that together, there seems to be some relationship where SEI is making this even better because tokenized treasuries can meet the high performance infrastructure demand using SEI. Okay. And SEI is in kind of areas like Southeast Asia, Greece, also India, which we'll cover that in just a second here. See here, USDY, Ondo Finance's flagship yield coin, backed by tokenized short-term U.S. treasuries, is now live on SEI network. As the first permissionless tokenized U.S. treasury build primitive to debut on SEI, USDY offers the network ecosystem of retail users and institutions direct permissionless access to a secure institutional grade asset backed by short-term U.S. treasuries and bank deposits. And here's the great part, where SEI is like kind of crucial. SEI is becoming the global settlement layer for modern finance, right? So if Bitcoin does take a dive here, and I still think it will, SEI might be something that I'm looking to kind of build a bag of. SEI is becoming the global settlement layer for modern finance, high performance, low cost infrastructure built for the rigorous demands of institutions, enterprises, and consumer finance alike. By deploying on SEI's parallelized EVM, Ondo leverages infrastructure delivering 400 milliseconds time to finality and 12,005 TPS, providing the deterministic speed required by global markets. Okay, so apparently they cannot get this speed otherwise other than using SEI. So very big information here. SEI network supports a rapidly growing institutional asset system, including tokenized funds from BlackRock. Shout out to the Triple Threat, me and Max, and Crypto Future. Me and Max showed you many times how ZEBEC is related to BlackRock, how they're related to Blackstone with Jim Breyer. Shout out to Underdog Research Channel, where Brevin Howard here, we've shown you how Brevin Howard is related to Swift blockchain, which I'm still high on. Brevin Howard also, he's invested in Swift blockchain, but also Animoca Brands, who's invested in Swift blockchain, is also invested in ZEBEC. And we've heard Yatsu talk about, paying people real time. Why? Because he's a ZEBEC investor. Okay. Hamilton Lane, Laser Digital by Nomura, and Apollo, now live on the network. This activity is supported by major infrastructure partners like Circle, Binance, Securitized, Kyle, Etherscan, and now Ondo Finance. So this is huge. This whole statement is huge. So Apollo now being connected to SEI, BlackRock, Brevin Howard, Hamilton Lane being connected to SEI, Circle, which we showed you with the whole USDC partnership, Binance and Securitized being connected to SEI. We showed you that they're partners of Securitized. We showed you on Securitized's ecosystem page. Of course, they're also partners of Ondo because they're with the USDY. But we also showed you on Ondo's ecosystem page. Now, exploring that Apollo thing more. Going over here to Securitize. Okay, Securitize announces Wormhole as an official interoperability provider for the Apollo Diversified Credit Securitized Fund, ACRED. Okay, January 30th, 2025. So basically, this is some type of credit that they're offering people through BlackRock's Build L, which it all seems to come back through to Build L or Builds, right? Because I think it's just pronounced Builds, kind of like HODL is kind of pronounced hold or whatever, but Build L, Build whatever. we know what we're talking about over here. But very, very huge here that they're allowing these funds. It's all coming back to BlackRock. We got, the Wormholes of the world, the Aptoses, the Avalanches, the Ethereums, the Inks, the Polygons, the Solanas, all coming together for this. Like in the whole realm of follow the money, we are following the money right there, right? So again, we have an Apollo connection here. Apollo launches a 785 billion asset under management tokenized credit fund, ACRED, on Solana DeFi with Drift Institutional and Camino Finance. All of this connects into what SEI is doing. All this connects into what Securitized is doing. All this connects into Apollo. All this connects into Solana. And apparently, of course, this is going to connect into ZEBEC, depending on how they want to use the ZEBEC cards. This gives them an off-ramp for this credit fund. This gives them an off-ramp for anything they're doing with USDY. This gives them an off-ramp with yield, where their money is not stagnant, but absolutely liquid and still drawing interest, where they can use it on a debit card. That's so flexible and crazy. Like, it's crazy to think about how flexible that is for a company or big company like BlackRock and all these people we just talked about, right? Now, when we get to kind of the kicker here, another kicker. But before we get to that kicker, I guess we can say Tron Avalanche SEI among new networks for PayPal's PUSD or PayPal USD, which we know ZEBEC is involved in this. You can use PayPal USD on their platform. You can also use it on Metallicus's platform. And they say here the reason why SEI and all those guys can use it is because of LayerZero. And LayerZero comes right back up, guys. Their Stargate Hydra bridge underpins the rollout. Where have we heard Stargate before, right? Going all the way back to this project. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. Who can say? But, you know, Trump doing the Stargate project with OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle, okay, with NVIDIA and Microsoft helping, and also this company from this MGX company from the Emiratis, right? That's an Emirati national company, meaning the central bank of Dubai, directly the central bank of Dubai, directly the royal family of Dubai is in on this. And of course, you know, is this a coincidence? Could be, could not be. But again, we know that MGX, using USD1, purchased $2 billion worth of Binance. So now, when we go back to all of these articles that we're reading, and they tell us that Binance is involved, well, we know that to be true. Infrastructure partners like Circle, Binance, Securitized, etc. Okay, we know that to be true. But here we go. The very big kicker is SEI network eyes mass adoption in 2026 through infrastructure upgrades and strategic partnerships. SEI Wallet will be pre-installed on Xiaomi smartphones sold outside China and the US starting in 2026. Okay, can be very, very huge. Okay, pause. It can be a very, 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 very huge deal. I think that's time. I think it's time for a clip here. On that note, let's do the Rick James.
What is the 5 fingers say to the face? What? Slap!
Oh, gotta love the Rick James clip. But it seems like SEI they're leaving with something. They're leaving.
Yeah. I see a big tray. I'm like, I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
So Sei is leaving with something. Apparently, a huge deal they're leaving with these Sei wallet being pre-installed on Xiaomi cell phones sold outside China and the U.S. starting in 2026. And then they say stablecoin payments launching across 20 plus Xiaomi retail stores in Hong Kong and EU starting in 2026. Stablecoins, right? Sounds really familiar. Sounds like something ZEBEC could be a part of. Could they be a part of this? Well, we know they're a part of USDY. Could they be partnered with Sei and we don't know it? Could very well be. Could very well be. Now, what really intrigues me here is this being on the Sei wallet being on these Xiaomi smartphones, okay? That's interesting. But let's go down here. The partnership extends beyond wallet integration to include stablecoin payment capabilities. Sei will launch stablecoin payments across more than 20K Xiaomi retail stores in Q2 of 2026. If we get some news of this, this will be quite crazy. The initial rollout targets Hong Kong, which is fine. Hong Kong is fine. It's China that's not fine, but usually, you know, people can go over to Hong Kong and get what they need done in Hong Kong. So I've read. And European Union markets transforming Sei into functional payments layer rather than solely a trading chain. Okay, this sounds like something, this sounds exactly like white labeled ZEBEC to me. Okay, white labeled ZEBEC all day, every day, right here. So they say here top narratives on Sei: mobile payment, real world institutional adoption, USDY, gaming, high performance DeFi and trading. Okay. Then we see here Sei targets institutional adoption through partnerships with BlackRock, Apollo, Hamilton Lane. We saw that earlier. Market infrastructure grids connect enterprise partners, including Circle, PayPal, Revolut. Okay, Tim Draper, another Tim Draper connection. And here's good old LayerZero again. Okay, now just for us to kind of get an idea of what's going on here with the Xiaomi company and how big Xiaomi is. Xiaomi to pre-install crypto wallet, Sei on crypto wallet on smartphones in Sei partnership. According to this article, Xiaomi sold 168 million smartphones. Beyond the wallet integration, Sei and Xiaomi plan to enable stablecoin payments across Xiaomi's retail network of more than 20K stores. We saw that earlier, but here's the kicker. Xiaomi holds dominant market positions in several countries, including 36.9 market share. That's a great number in Greece and 24.2 in India. Okay, the pre-installation strategy provides Sei with direct distribution to hundreds of millions of mainstream consumers rather than crypto native audiences. So now if we look at this, we look at what we found here lately with this. Let me come speak directly to you guys. So if we look at what we found with this, right? Sei being directly installed in all of these cell phones, right? Xiaomi. With definitely check out the Kaya episode. We got Kaya being on Line and Kakao Talk. We got possibly ZEBEC being on Solana phones. Their own super app, right? The neobank, the whole neobank revolution is here, right? ZEBEC being white labeled in World Liberty Financial, ZEBEC being white labeled in Facet, ZEBEC possibly being white labeled in ADI chain. It's here. It's here. Okay. See here, just scanning the So definitely, guys, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, but let's go ahead and continue here. Okay, so yeah, big Xiaomi dominance in Greece and India, and like they're really making it very easy here for people to use these stable coins along with their social media, along with their phones. So the neobanks, like you don't need a bank. That's exactly the Simon video that I play. Notice at the end, shout out to the Stablecoin podcast. The last thing the man says in the Stablecoin podcast is, well, ZEBEC has all of this stuff. You don't need a bank. You don't. You really don't need a bank here. But when you have the ZEBEC and the Super app, shout out to Simon. His latest spaces today, he basically says this, and maybe we'll kind of go listen to a little bit of that spaces. It was a very short spaces. Maybe we'll kind of tack on that review at the end of this video, since it was a very short spaces. But let me go ahead. I want to open up some things here that I was looking at. I thought I had it pulled up already, but apparently I do not. Let me look and see where I put that. Okay, here we go. So again, this is something that could be a little bit of speculation, but I think it's something we should definitely look at. Okay. So again, I'm going to tell you right now, this is speculation, but when I put together the tea leaves, I thought this was something that would be really big if ZEBEC did this. Okay. So we've been talking here lately about X402. Okay. Now, if you're not familiar, go back to some of my past live streams. I've been talking a lot about AI compute and X402 and how X402 and agentic AI is going to make it very easy for agentic AI to do payments where you don't need a human in the loop. You just have the agentic AI do the payment for you. And this is another thing that is going to increase the velocity of payments. Okay. So I was looking at the X402 standards and something became really clear for me. So they say introducing X402 v2 evolving the standard for internet native payments. And then if we scroll down, we see the payment ledger used to move money, network, Solana-based Polygon, AVAX. So already they're kind of saying that X402 is going to be conducted on a crypto network. They're going to be crypto networks that do this. Okay. Now, one of the things I thought was very interesting too, the assets moved would be, okay, well, stable coins. So it's going to be conducted with stable coins. So this backs up everything that Simon was saying. He did an interview with the guys in Dash, and he said eventually ZEBEC will be able to use agentic AI. So he's kind of already hinting at that being a possibility. But then the mechanism, the agreed upon way of transferring funds for a specific transaction. They say right here, the Solana fee payer. Then I got to thinking, if you go to the Super app now and you stake your ZEBEC and everything like that, you need to have a Solana vault. Maybe this is one of the reasons why you need a Solana vault, because that mechanism of using that vault can possibly be tied to X402, right? I can't confirm this, but this is just me trying to connect some tea leaves here. Everybody was wondering, why do I need the Solana vault now? Why do I need the Solana vault? Well, Solana fee payer maybe is attached to that vault. And then I also saw something recently from Metallicus where with their Saint Cloud, the first stablecoin people that they made, the first credit union that they gave a stablecoin to, they also have a vault. So maybe this vault thing is something that is necessary for these guys to use the X402. Okay, let me see if I can pull up where St. Cloud said, oh, hey, we got a vault now. Okay, here it is. It's a little Metallica's news, but it's relevant in what we're looking at with X402, because if you need this vault to be able to conduct these X402 payments, this is my theory, this is my hypothesis, this actually goes to prove it even more, because St. Cloud Federal Credit Union says they're proud to announce the launch of their CU Digital Asset Vault, a new way for members to safely own and protect digital assets backed by real people, clear support, and thoughtful planning for the future. But maybe what they don't tell you is, well, in order to conduct this X402 properly and well, everybody needs this vault, right? So it's very, very interesting there. Let's go back to this X402 stuff. So all of that to me is pretty interesting here, especially the network, the asset, and the mechanism here. Very, very interesting. Now, this leads me to a proposal that SEI has. So this is pretty recent, February 26, 2026. Okay. Crazy date. Okay. February 26, 26. Okay. Sure. All right. SEI's proposal for fee transparency. X402 volume is continuing to grow exponentially, partly because facilitators greatly simplified the UX. Across the X402 ecosystem, facilitators have begun turning on fees, which is good and signals demand. Here's our proposal to standardize the fee transparency before fragmentation wins again. And this is another thing that Simon was talking about in the latest spaces. Definitely go check it out. He was talking about getting rid of fragmentation, and that, the ZEBEC Super app is the first kind of market-ready fintech app out here. So a lot of the language that he uses kind of seems to lend itself to this X402 stuff. But let's continue. Facilitators are the gateway in X402. They greatly simplify blockchain UX by settling valid payments on chain on the behalf of servers, right? So I thought this was kind of interesting because when you think of ZEBEC, right? Could they be a facilitator? Could they? Okay, so with broad support from major facilitators, including PayX, Dexter, and X402 ERS, SEI Labs submitted a proposal for X402 repo that aims to establish transparency for facilitator fees. Okay, underlying assumptions for this proposal are fairly straightforward. Facilitator fees may be optional in theory, but are common in practice. In its current design, X402 transactions settled in stablecoins will always require facilitators. With agentic AI, the volume of facilitator fees are likely to grow exponentially. Okay, so let's highlight that and let's mosey on over. Oh, it's not going to highlight for me, I guess. All right, I guess it won't highlight. We're going to try one more time. And, okay, won't highlight. So let's mosey on over to, right quick, our ZEBEC tokenomics and how they were changed, right? What's interesting to me is how they say stablecoin balances which are automatically converted into ZBCN at the time that fees are assessed. So they're almost automatic. Like, to me, this is almost saying that they're a facilitator, because when fees are assessed, you're paying ZBCN, right? So again, this is just me theorizing, right? But the theory, if true, could be pretty big. Pause. Okay. And just to read it again, institutional clients and employers using ZEBEC's payroll platform are required to pay service and product fees in ZBCN. They can hold it directly, okay, or use stablecoin balances which automatically convert into ZBCN the time fees are assessed. Going back to our thing here, X402 transactions are settled in stablecoins will always require facilitators. Okay. Basically, when the fees are assessed, they're going to need the facilitator. Okay. Facilitator fees may be optional in theory, but are commonplace in practice. With agentic AI, the volume of facilitator fees are likely to grow exponentially. Okay, let's continue. Currently, servers can't reliably route multiple facilitators based on cost, and users can't easily audit what they've paid in fees. To address this, SEI is proposing adding an extension called facilitator fees. The goal is to not pick the best fee model, but to standardize disclosure. So basically, they're changing their system around to standardize the facilitator fees. But this made me think about, okay, well, is ZBCN a facilitator? Because the fees are, these stablecoin fees are automatically going to be converted to ZBCN. So in that case, just logically, it almost means to me that they're a facilitator. This would be interesting to see, to kind of confirm, or to like dig in and have someone else like verify. But I think it's an interesting thought. Okay. To achieve this, we propose adding 4 things to the X402 protocol. A quote endpoint so servers can ask facilitators, what will you charge for this settlement? A settlement receipt so users can say, what was the fee actually charged? An optional configuration which would allow a cost-sensitive user to express soft constraints like try not to exceed X in facilitator fees. A routing mechanism for servers to route to facilitators based on fee mechanics. Okay. Again, this might be a little bit different in that ZEBEC is streaming. The fees are probably automatically in the background or whatever. But again, if ZEBEC, with any stablecoin they use, they're automatically having these ZBCN fees. Maybe that means that they just are a facilitator. So this is something interesting to think about. And we don't have to read the whole article here. But if ZEBEC is a facilitator, and whenever you're and saying that you're going to have to use their program if you want to have payroll, right? At least in America, you know that they're FedNow, working with NatPay Now, and NatPay Now is the only payroll service provider for FedNow, at least working for Deutsche Bank. In Europe, they're the global payroll partner for Deutsche Bank in Europe and the All Unity stablecoin. So we know that they're going to get fees from people using their stablecoins. And we know people are going to use their stablecoins for payroll because they have these partnerships in which they're the sole provider, pretty much. You know what I mean? So when you think about that logically, that really intrigues me. That really intrigues me. Really intrigues me. So, what do you guys think? Do you think it's possible that ZBCN is a facilitator? And do we honestly understand what that could mean as far as like any stable coin on their platform? These fees are going to kind of agentic AI, like they're going to get so many fees. Like go back to what I was saying in the beginning of the show, right? In the old system, one transaction had to take at the least 2 to 3 days. In this new system, agentic AI doing it, and on near instant finality, your transaction is finished in less than a second. It goes from 2 days to a second. The velocity of how money will move on that level when you compare the time is just staggering. That's just exponentially crazy. Okay? You know what I mean? Like I wish I had like I have made a graph for you guys to like kind of see it. But 1 second versus 2 days. It's crazy to think about. But let's get into the comments here. And I think people are gonna sleep on this episode, but honestly, they're sleeping on here. 24.2% of the Indian market as far as market share goes, 36.9% of the Greece market Xiaomi holds, and then whenever they're able to be live in China, with China's population, oh my goodness. So I think people are going to sleep on Sei. I think people are going to sleep on this possible secret partnership, but I'm not. I love everything that this research provided here, and shout out to the Patreon crew. Definitely, what inspired this was shout out to Kevin Garrett in the chat here. Kevin Garrett, we were talking about this, and we were talking about Kaya. But Kaya led me to Sei. And shout out, I see my fellow triple threat member in the chat. You know, since Future's in the chat, we gotta play this clip right here.
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
Shout out to my guy Crypto Future. Let's definitely share his X account and his YouTube triple threat member in the house today. Let's go ahead and share that, and then we can get into some of the comments, and then we'll talk about what the F Bitcoin. What the F Bitcoin. Shout out to our brother Crypto Mentality too. I got something that I need to show from Crypto Mentality, but that's going to be in a future show. Shout out to our brother Crypto Mentality, another person who shares some great information with me, and I like to share brothers who share information with me. Thank you, brother. You very much appreciate it. Shout out to you, brother. Definitely go give him a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And let's get over here to our brother Rob Mass here. Crypto Future 99. Definitely give him a like and subscribe here on X. And definitely get over to his YouTube account, which we will show in just a second here. As my mouse is going rogue on me out here. What's up, Pino Q? Thank you, brother. Appreciate you loving the content, brother. I really do. You very consistent watcher. What's up, Kevin Garrett and the Rue Crew Patreon people in here? Let's shout out to him. Like I said, he helped inspire this because we were looking at Kaya in the open mic night, which we do every Saturday. Telling you guys, those open mic nights and those open mic replays, is worth the Patreon subscription just for that alone. So much stuff comes up in there where we're talking about different things and different things that the crew is looking at. Shout out to you, brother. And I just saw somebody join the Patreon today. Shout out to brother Lamar. Welcome to the Rue Crew. What's up, King Pound, brother Rue? What's good? Shout out to our brother E, moderator in Telegram. Long time patron in the house here. Shout out to you, E. And E actually made it to speak in one of the ZEBEC spaces. Shout out to our brother E. We appreciate him so much out here. What's up, brother King Pound? Brother you and brother Grow Rich, Grow Happy should collab. Hey, I would love to collab with the brother for Mr. Foresight. I would love to collab with him. Another Detroit brother, and even to show solidarity, I bought his book. I skimmed through his book a little bit. I haven't read the whole thing, but really, I just wanted to buy it to show support. But yeah, I would love to collab with the brother. So hopefully one day that happens. I would love to. That one guy, Bull, ready to run. I don't know. Let's get into that whole. In a second, we'll get into the whole what the hell is going on Bitcoin right now. You guys know I was staunchly on the Blood Moon rocket where I was saying, hey, Bitcoin's going down, and we're up right now. And I kind of really think it's a bull trap, but we'll talk about that a little bit later here. Woo! Let's go, ZEBEC. Yeah, with the Ric Flair, which I can't play because it got flagged. What's good, brother Rue? And again, my brother Crypto Future, triple threat member in the house. Okay, we're the trifecta, the trio, the Hydra, the triple threat. You can't cut off one head without cutting off all three out here. Pause. The triple threat in effect for real. Let's go. And subscribe, people. 100%. Do it now. Do it. I was just Corey Williams. I was just telling guys about over on the ZBCN Discord about this last week. Wham! What's up, Rue? Oh, were you? Hey. Great minds thinking alike, Corey Williams. I love it, brother. I love it. Hey, any information you want to share? The DMs are open, and sometimes it's like stuff gets in the universe. It's almost like you put it out there, and other people by default just get it. Like I kid you not. I cannot tell you how many times like I will watch certain creators, and I know these two people don't talk, but like one did the show and the other one did the show like the same day, like of the same topic, and they hadn't talked about it like at all that day. But that's how it is. Like sometimes it just gets out in the air, and like people just pick up on it, bro. I love that. Shout out to you, Corey Williams, also a very frequent watcher here. Shout out to T. Riley with the $5 super chat. Let's go, ZBCN. You got to get my man for that.
My man.
Let's go here. Sean, my man. Stack. Another my man in the house. Will go with the Frank Lucas, my man here.
My man.
The other Frank Lucas, my man. Block Trip, my guy. What's going on? Very, very big players in the space. Major announcements, plural, at XRP Las Vegas. My goodness, I cannot wait. What's up, Terry B? Hey, Rue, appreciate it. Rue, bro. What's up, Tony S? 72. What's up, Christopher Offit in the house? Oh, the wife is watching too now. Let's go. It's a whole family affair in here. I love it. I love it. So she doesn't get the how dare you tonight. She doesn't get the how dare you tonight. Appreciate you watching, Mrs. Christopher. There, we'll give you the Louis Anderson.
Soon I'll be on fries, then the grill. A year or two, I make assistant manager. And that's where the big bucks start rolling in.
That's when the big bucks are going to roll in. We got this whole Jake Claver theory, right? The domino theory, which it seems like it's falling. The big bucks are so close, guys. The big bucks are so close. 2026 have not given up on it. It may not be the bear year that people thought. It may not be the bear year that people thought. Maybe the people who were saying the 4-year cycle was over were half right. They were half right. Okay. Be that as it may, we're going to be light on our feet. We're going to succeed either way. But the research is the research. And we're here and we're looking at the projects. We're following the money. We're following the BlackRocks. We're following the Blackstones. We're following the, you know what I mean? The Tim Drapers, the Jim Brayers, right? I feel very confident in where we are right now as a community. And shout out to you. Shout out to the Rue Crew. We're doing big things out here, guys. Appreciate you all. Shut the front door 100%. What's up, Silver Days XRP? Blackrue out the gate. Yes, indeed. Rue, your opinion on Verisan saying that on his YouTube channel that ZEBEC's real-time payroll can be done by XLM. He also believes that ZBCN will not be utilized because it's on a solo network like Solana's. Well, I would say that he's not. Respectfully, I don't know who this guy is, but I would say he's not researched on ZBCN then. We know that ZBCN is partnered with XLM, right? We know that. They've talked at Cybos. We know that these dudes, we know that they're partnered. So I don't understand why ZEBEC and Stellar would put in so much work together and then Stellar would just cut them out. Doesn't make sense to me that they would do that. And also they're multi-platform. They can cover I think they're up to 20 now. They're not just on Solana, but again, I would say he's not researched on ZBCN or Solana for that fact, because Solana now works on Ondo, on Base. It's native, pretty much native to Base now. We still see it doing things like, they have the Solana phone. They have the Solana Vault, which ZBCN has the Solana Vault. It seems like Solana is really multi-platform now with what they can do with Ondo and whatnot. So honestly, I would say that he's not researched on where Solana is right now, and he's not researched on where ZBCN is right now, especially with ZBCN's partnership with XLM. It's very clear if you look and see what the things ZBCN is doing with Circle, and Circle used to be basically Stellar's stablecoin, more or less, right? So I think he's lacked knowledge on ZBCN and their partnerships. Also knowing that Circle is doubly invested in ZBCN. They're invested in ZBCN themselves, but also through Brayer Capital, they're invested in ZBCN. I would just say that he's not up on what ZBCN is. I would just say that. But respectfully, I don't know him. I never seen the clip, so I don't know exactly what he said. I'm just going off of what you're telling me. So if what he's saying is not what you're telling me, I'm just going off of what you're telling me. I don't know the guy. You know what I mean? No disrespect to him, but this is just the information as I know it. Okay. Silver Days, let's go. Smash the likes and subscribe. Yes, indeed. Dave F. Jr., what's up? What's up, brother, man? Dave F. Jr., Silva said it with a little Italian accent over here. Silva, hey, what you doing over here, Silva? Yeah. My guy Silva in the house. Over here. What's going on? Dave F. Jr. Moonfeather Rising in the house. What is up, Mooney? Let's share her channel. And of course, guys, we just did a live. You guys seem to like it a lot. You guys love when Moonfeather comes on. Like, I can see it in the views. Like, which is, I love that. I love that about my audience. You guys kind of think a lot like me. You guys are open-minded to astrology and how it can affect the market. And I love that about you guys. Like, hats off to you guys. One of the best audiences out there. Shout out to you guys. The collaboration with Moonfeather and I has done good. It's done well. And Mooney, I need to add the collaboration link. I forgot to do that. We got to do that for sure. I'm mad at myself that I forgot to do that now. But definitely go check this out, guys. Decoding Bearable 123's latest riddle, part 2. But I know I do have on there, I do have a link to Moonfeather's channel. But also here, if you don't know, you can just go to my channel, scroll all the way down here. You see past live streams. This was the live stream here. And it has a link to Moonfeather's channel here. But again, you can just mosey down. You see future channels here. Our brother Underdog Research channel, Shook Focus Digital, Maximus Crypto. And here the Mooniverse. She does astrology. And one quote of hers, or of JP Morgan's, that both she and I like to use. Millionaires don't use astrology. Billionaires do. And I find that so much to be true. It has a high rate of success. Astrology, of course, everything, you know what I mean? You can use every tool that you have here, right? Astrology, the charts, news, documents, everything. Every tool that you can possibly use to get up on the market, to try to, get at these guys who have quants and all of this other things like in the market. You know what I mean? Use it. That's my philosophy. But definitely go over and give Moonfeather Rising a like and subscribe. I know she has a show on World Liberty Financial that I need to check out. But I love this one that she did here on the one of the Bearable Bulls. Somebody, I think it was Solana, modified a Bearable Bull riddle, and she has a show on that. And she has a couple shows that we've done too on her channel that you guys should definitely check out. Stock Stars and the Crypto Verse out here. So definitely check those out. And thank you so much, Mooney, for having me on your dopest influencers on YouTube list. I very much appreciate that. Shout out to you. And then let's also go mention our brother, Triple Threat brother, Rob here. Definitely go over here and check out our brother, Crypto Future here. I know, Rob, you mentioned me in a couple different shows lately, brother, and I very much appreciate that. My brother from another mother over there. Definitely go check out Crypto Future here. In the latest shows here. The Crypto Pump Explained, Real Money or False Signal. ZEBEC Super App Update. Actually live right now. This one's pretty good. This one kind of looks like you a little bit. Like that one, okay, this one's actually you. Like AI tries so hard to get us right? That one was a pretty good one from AI right there. Rob's bigger than this though. Bro's like incredible hawking it out here. Bro's incredible hawking it out here. But shout out to him. Shout out to Moonfeather. Shout out to these guys. Wonderful creators who very nicely watch my show and have been collaborators. Okay. Shout out to y'all. Silver Days, let's go. Moonfeather Rising, let's go. Mooney getting some love in the chat. And then Corey Williams, as of 2026, say partnered with Xiaomi smartphones with pre-installed crypto wallets and apps. Shout out to our brother Corey Williams for reconfirming that and putting it in the chat there. Let's start that information there. Again, I appreciate brothers who share information in the chat and share information with us. We're a community and we're tackling this together, guys. And you know what I mean? People who share information should be acknowledged. And I really much like to do that. I very much like to do that. Shout out to my brother Maximus Crypto. He does a good job of doing that as well. But shout out to our brother Corey Williams here. I had so much fun with Rue on last Friday. Oh, blessings. Very, very awesome, Mooney. You know, it's always a fun time, and you know you're always welcome back on. For sure. Trump today, clarity is being threatened and undermined by big banks. This is unacceptable, and we will not allow it. This is a massive statement for crypto. Now, here's the big thing, guys, that we gotta understand here. Like, I hope that banks don't screw us out of our interest, right? Because this is the big thing here. Because ultimately, I think banks are going to win with this because the velocity of payments, just like we talked about earlier, are going to be so great. They are going to get money hand over fist in fees because they're going to be able to finalize payments in a second. Now, if they do some flim-flam type of stuff where they convince us that not giving American citizens interest through these stable coins, that's going to be very much a shame. And again, Simon Babakani has told us that there are ways around this, and there are ways around this. World Liberty Financial is using a way around this right now by doing rewards where you get points, but it's just that extra step that is going to make it complicated for non-crypto native or like really crypto proficient people, where it's like, okay, now I got the rewards. What am I going to do with that? Okay, how do I trade this coin and take this coin and turn it into a stable coin? Now that I have a stable coin, how do I put it back on my wallet? And like, that might sound like, I know you guys are a very knowledgeable audience. For you guys, that's very easy. But for someone, you know, very new to crypto, where we're getting to the point where these technologies are going to just be on smartphones, where people are going to be using it like tap, just like how you tap your Google Pay and your Apple Pay. You don't really realize that you're KYCing, and Apple Pay and Google Pay know exactly who you are and can trace you probably back to the central bank. You don't realize that, but the ease of use for you, it would be better for you if the interest was just automatically given to you, instead of you having to hop through extra steps to get it via like rewards or something like that. So I really think I urge people to stand with crypto as much as they can. And even as much as we think this might be predetermined, let's do as much as we can as citizens to do our part to yell and scream and say, we deserve our interest, because we do. So do as much as you can to stand with crypto and to make your voice heard with this, where like they don't screw us out of our interest. We need to have Moonfeather on Rue's show more often. 100%. Let's start that comment. Oh, thank you, Silver Days. What did the five fingers say to the face? Slap. Darknesses. Darknesses.
What did the five fingers say to the face?
What?
Slap!
Cold-blooded. Oh, man. Always a fun time with Rick James in the house. Rick James. Rick James. Eddie Murphy. Trump has moved his stance towards stablecoin and crypto and is secretly done with the banks who are simply stalling for Dems to get back in charge and remove clarity from the government policy. Well, if you truly kind of I'm like truly looking at this, Trump seems to be in league. Of course, with crypto, he's creating his own neobank with World Liberty Financial. But if you look at the people kind of behind this, well, BlackRock's just as thick as thieves in crypto, which we've seen. And who's bigger than BlackRock, right? We just showed you guys a couple of SEI announcements here where they say they have partners, including BlackRock, Brevin Howard, Hamilton Lane, Circle, Binance, Securitize, others, right? And if we show you here with the ADI Foundation, where they have memorandums of understanding from, what do you know, like ZEBEC Partners, like Franklin Templeton Investments, we know partner with Stellar. MasterCard, we know ZEBEC cards are on MasterCard, and we know BlackRock has dealings with ZBCN indirectly, like Assure, who ZBCN is partnered with. Assure is partly owned by BlackRock. ADP, which we know has connections to ZEBEC, just look at their white paper, just look at their advisors, is partly owned by BlackRock. Who's bigger than these guys, right? But, you know, they're going to make it sound very, very complicated for the American people in that they're going to believe that they need to give up their interest because the banks can't survive without it. And that is not true. That is absolutely not true. So I very much hope that we can do as much as we can with our part to stand for crypto and get our interest as American people. You know, I hope we can do what we can to get our interest there. Much love, Mr. Spader, 007. What is up, brother? Nothing but good news for ZBCN every turn, 100%. Shout out to you, brother. Moonfeather Rising, Apollo is the Olympian of the sun. There we go, Mooney. There we go, Mooney. I knew like that Apollo was something in my head. Like, it kept ringing some bells. Yes, indeed, 100%. And then you can go all into those pictures where we got Brad Garlinghouse representing the sun, in all of those bearable bull type pictures. Maybe this is something we get into in episode number 3 of breaking down bearable bull stuff. We're going to have to schedule that for sure, guys. Let's continue. Rue, what's your biggest play outside ZBCN? Either lose it or massive beyond potential Canton Network or Plasma or other than ZBCN? Well, of course, for an official list, the Patreon people have that list. If I were to say what would be my biggest play outside of ZBCN, there are a few names that come to mind. But honestly, if I were to say like my purse strings, quote unquote, I own, as far as much dollar value, my ZBCN by far is my biggest investment. Number 2 would be XRP. XRP is my second biggest investment. When you think about it, underpinning the whole system and Ripple and the XRP ledger and what they're doing with, of course, the overledger too. But yeah, that would XRP is my second biggest play for sure. It's like peanut butter and jelly over here. XRP and ZBCN. Okay, yeah, well, shout out to brother CKJ News. Just you know, Bullzilla, shout out to him. I respect his content. But as far as meme coins or anything like that, that's up to anyone else to you know, that you know, try at your own risk. But I do appreciate the brother ZKJ News and his content. Shout out to him for his content, and Bullzilla, and I wish him well in all of his endeavors. But this is not something that is for you know, I wish him well, and we'll put it like that. And again, I very much support his content. Definitely go over and like and subscribe to his channel. But that's the end of that. Like, you guys make your own decision and whether you want to be involved in anything other than that. You know, that's up to you guys. But yeah, I do very much appreciate his content. Any truth that X Money might be using ZBCN in some form? Now, this came up. Shout out to the ZBCN man. He's the first person I saw post this. And then shout out to Max. We were talking about it a little bit today. Let me see if I can find this here. Shout out to ZBCN man for posting this. Where do we have it here? Did I bookmark it? Let me see if I can find it, guys. But to that person's point, it seems as though X Money is using, and shout out to Mr. Forsyth and ZBCN man. Seems like Mr. Forsyth was on the show as well there. Shout out to those brothers for having Mr. Forsyth on. Shout out to ZBEC Nation. Shout out to ZBCN man. Patriot Party. I'm going to try to name everybody. Hope I don't miss anybody. Shout out to brother ZBCN man. We go up to the top here. Shout out to brother Off Kryptonian. 314 Crypto. Shout out to Patriot Party. Shout out to Heavy Hitter. Shout out to ZBCN United. Shout out to ZEBEC Samurai. Shout out to Throbbing Lantern. Shout out to, did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. But shout out to the whole crew over there. If I missed somebody, I apologize. B Rocket. Shout out to JSK. Shout out to the whole ZBCN Nation crew over here. Shout out to Angelica Saldana. But let's go ahead and show you a brother 314 Crypto. He might also have posted something on it. I swear, every time I try to look up brother 314, I gotta use at Off Kryptonian. For some reason, it does not like the 314. So shout out to brother 314 Crypto. Give him a like and subscribe. Member of ZBEC Nation. Let's see here. I think he posted, one of the two of them posted something about this. Let me see if I can find it. We're doing it live here. But yeah, like I said, definitely go check out the post with them and Mr. Forsyth. He came up on their channel. I appreciate that brother's content too. He does some great ZBCN content. Definitely go check him out and their channel, on their channel. But let me see if I can find the post that they made about. Huh. Okay, let me see. I can't find it. Let me look again here in my bookmarks. I'm pretty sure I had it Okay, let me see here. Let me look at my replies. Okay, sorry, hey guys, this is an unexpected question. I wasn't expecting to handle this today, but I know this is important information. So if you could just give me a second, I'll end up finding it here at some point. Here it is. Okay, brother Throbbing Lantern of the ZEBEC Nation podcast posted this. So Shatner posts this. William Shatner. Here's a few more screenshots of a debit card with cash back. This is from X Money. And if you look at the post, they show Cross River Bank is the one who's doing this for X Money. You can see it there. Again, I think the first person to do this post might have been ZBCN Man. But again, shout out to Throbbing Lantern. Shout out to ZBCN Man. Shout out to the whole crew over there. But then me and Max were talking about it. Me and Max did some collaborations back in the past on ZBCN. That's why it's like there's so much of a big catalog that we have on ZBCN. We covered this in the past where Cross River Bank, we made the connection to Cross River Bank and ZBCN. Cross River Bank is basically XRP's bank. Okay? Uphold uses Cross River Bank. There's so many connections to Cross River Bank and XRP. Okay? So, when you say, is there any truth that X Money might be using ZBCN? Well, you got the fact that Shatner is talking about using a debit card. Maybe that debit card, that off-ramp, that debit card is white labeled ZBCN. Okay? There's quite a chance that that's white labeled ZBCN, especially given the fact that it's Cross River Bank, which we know that Uphold uses. We know that XRP uses it. Okay? And you got some posts here for some people in the community. Killer Dan, thank you, Killer Dan. I know you recently followed me on TikTok, so definitely, guys, follow me on TikTok. I can see Bugatti came over there and followed as well. Thank you guys so much. We're really trying to get to 1,000. It'll just help the show out. I could go live on TikTok and reach a bigger audience, get more revenue, do this, do this more times a day, because I really do enjoy giving you guys content every day. But let's continue. Hey, what's up, Phantom Beat? What's up, Rise Above? Crypto Dragon Emperor, what's up, brother? Hitter all day. Just entered the room. What's up? Rick's 2099, what's going on? What's up, Hitter? What's up, Rise? Love it. Giving love to the community there. T. Riley in the house with the $5 super chat. Let's go. Thank you. I appreciate it. T. Riley. Let's go, ZBCN. Rise Above. Giving some love to Dave. I'm sorry it's late. I'm sorry I'm late playing Resident Evil 9. No problem, brother. I need to buy a game system in here. I haven't gamed in so long, man. It's like, okay, we're working or we're working. we're working the day job, or we're working the channel and the research, or we're talking to patrons. Like there's never a break, bro. Hey, it's what happens when you're building something, right? I wouldn't trust. Oh, well, I'll let people, you take your own view on if you're gonna trust that or not trust it. But again, I like Brother CJK's content. Anything about a meme, that's up to you guys. if you want to tackle that or not. Hitter all day. Dave, what's up, fam? Yes, indeed. Seems like the FTC is allowing crypto exchanges to become banks. They are going to have TradFi banks having to fight for their supper, loving it. Yes, indeed. I think TradFi banks are going to have to put up or shut up. Like, they're really going to have to, if you can't beat them, join them. They're going to have to join. They're really going to have to join. And that's what makes the most sense. And just look at what we're looking at right now. Well, there's some banks already on our side with Cross River Bank, right? You know what I mean? There are already some banks that are processing crypto payments correctly, and they're already aboard. So I really think the banks ultimately benefit from this because the velocity of payments are going to be so juicy. They're going to make so much money from that in agentic AI that they're just going to be forced to cave. They are. I know you like the price predictions by the end of summer. It depends on if we get the Clarity Act. If we get the Clarity Act before the end of summer, ZEBEC's definitely over. Okay, minimum ZEBEC over a penny if we get the Clarity Act. Okay, how far over a penny, we shall see. Would I be confident enough to say 5 cents? Possibly, maybe. Like, the way it seems like ZEBEC is lining things up, it very much seems like they're lining things up for everything to be done by time the Clarity Act is finished. And if that's the case, World Liberty Financial can now use ZEBEC Neobank with ZEBEC smartphones, with ZEBEC app on a smartphone that has a ZEBEC World Mobile eSIM to pay all its workers that are doing anything in the Dubai area, anything in the Iran area, anything in China, anything in Korea, anything in India. And the way things are looking with Iran right now, if anyone's kind of read the whole Diary of a Hitman type of thing, you know what I mean? They're going to have to build that country back up. So there's going to be a lot of work involved there. There's going to be a lot of, there are going to be a lot of workers that can use World Liberty Financial's, and ZEBEC's super app to get things done there. So I could honestly see maybe out of summer, we're already at 5 cents. If we have the Clarity Act, if everything goes the way they say it's going to go on the roadmap with the super app, maybe we have 5 cent minimum ZEBEC by the summer. But the way that we calculated the $11 trillion payroll and what ZEBEC can grab of that, 11 trillion is just in the U.S. and we know ZEBEC is global, so it's way more than that. I heard one person say, I think it was shout out to the Patriot Party when I was on the ZBAC Nation show. He said something like it's like 50 trillion worldwide. So if ZEBEC even gets a percentage, just 1% of that worldwide, we're well over $1 in 2026. And we are like our guy Ghost, shout out to Ghost. Let's bring up his page. Like Ghost was saying, ZEBEC would be a top 50 cryptocurrency in 2026. Well, the path for that is not too crazy. The path for that is laid. Especially when we added things like a possible partnership with, say, a possible partnership with Kaya. These platforms are already built. All they got to do is turn on the stable coins. They're already in Xiaomi wallet, say is. All they have to do is make the stable coins, turn them on, right? They're already creating stable coins for Kakao Talk and Line. All they have to do is turn them on. And now you white label ZEBEC and allow people to get paid on it. And you give them a, tap on their phone where they don't even need to go to the bank. Win, 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 win. You got the whole supply chain of money right there. They work, they're paid by the second, they use your card to buy stuff. And on your app, you can have them invest in tokenized stocks or crypto through your super app. You're effectively containing every use of money that they would need. And hell, you could add taxes to that. You could have them do taxes through your super app. So the path to $1 is crazy as it would have sounded, and we did shows. Me and Max did shows about that in 2025. Here in 2026, the path to $1 seems so much easier, so much clearer. Like, and it's not even hyperbole. It's not even a stretch. It's not even like how some people say, like, and you can see the path to this too, but not as much as back to $1. Like certain coins to like 10K or certain coins to 100K. Well, the path to $1 ZBEC seems like even more clear to me, like as it stands right now today. Clarity Act on adoption on $1. Like it's not even as big as like hitting like a domino theory, like what Jay Claver says with XRP, which again, that seems to be the truth. That seems to be happening where, okay, well, Iran happens, the whole Strait of Hormuz thing happens, oil price goes up, then Japan has to do this, and Japan's carry trade, and then they have to use XRP. Like, there's a lot of steps for that. But for us, Clarity Act, adoption, done. Like, you know what I mean? It's a very clear road. It's a very clear road. Whereas with XRP, the road is a little bit less clear. But again, all the things that Ripple has done as far as like creating a treasury company, their RL USD, and of course we're partnered. XRP ZBCN is partnered with Ripple, so we're a part of that. Getting XRP to 10K as well, we're part of that. But the path to ZEBEC to $1 to me, it just seems so clear, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm curious to know what you think. But for me, it seems very, very clear. $30 XRP by summer would be lovely, and see that path is there, right? Like, let's not even get to the 10K XRP. Honestly, the path to like a $30 to $100 XRP kind of seems kind of clear. And again, I'm not ragging on anybody that says like 10K XRP. Remember, XRP is my second largest holding. I just discovered and told you. I just told you today. Okay. But if you want to know all the holdings I'm really looking at, Patreon, less than a cup of coffee, weekly open mic nights where you can ask any question and you get to meet the rest of the community. But, so honestly, I'm a big believer in what XRP has coming. And yeah, they underpin the entire system. So why wouldn't XRP make it? To me, right? But to me, like, kind of like, not like I'm going out to sell my XRP for ZBCN. I'm not doing that. But ZBCN is my largest play. It is my biggest holding because the path to $1 seems very, very clear to me there. Okay, I saw a verse on. Okay, Black Swan Capitalist say that he's not a big fan of ZEBEC for some reason. I don't get it, man. Well, you see certain XRP people or certain people like that tend to not be a fan of ZEBEC, where Jake Claver and Zach Rector, even though they had their tiff or their beef, they seem to be fans of it. I don't know. I don't know what else that they would want to see from ZBCN, but at this point, I think it's like you just do your own research. At this point, I've shown you like different documents. I've shown you different things. We've seen the partnerships where it seems very clear that ZEBEC is setting itself up as a neobank. You know, it seems very clear that they were the replacement for Moja Loop. It seems very clear that they're coming for some of the market share for payroll. It seems very clear to me with the partners they have and all the things that they've told us, right? Yeah, so regardless of what a Black Swan Capitalist or anyone else says, the research seems to say that they're fine. But again, you know what I mean? People are going to have their different opinions. And I've seen the Black Swan Capitalist show. Like, I do respect his research a lot. But, you know what I mean? We got to, we got to be the masters of our research and not, like, who's saying what or whatever, right? I try to give you guys, like, you notice I don't hide where my sources are coming from or anything like that. Go double check for yourself. Like, I'm not trying to be, you know, and maybe this could be like for a business, I should try to be like, oh, I got the answers and no one else doesn't. But that's just not how I'm cut. But I'm trying to educate. That's my purpose for my channel, is to educate. And yeah, so I tend to not kind of listen to what some of these guys are saying, and I just try to do as much as I can to follow the research as much as possible. I had a nice bag of ZEBEC unstaked recently. I will restake on the Super wallet when it drops for the phone app. ZEBEC will be called a steal at 50 cents one day. Load now. Yes, indeed. AI research says Canton will explode if banks are left in a cold by stablecoin, and AI says Canton will explode if banks are a part of crypto. Either way, to the tune of $10 to $13 per Canton. That's crazy. So a $10 to $13 per Canton, you can have like a nice 10K bag, and that's 100K for you, right? If I did the quick math right, you just add a zero, right? So nice 10K bag is 100K for you, right? So, you know, if you can afford having 100K Canton, that might be $1 million bag for you, right? So that's very interesting. Thank you for that, Christopher. And lastly, why is Canton about the only crypto down today? That's interesting to see them down. If they're down, I wasn't really checking. I think this is a nice segue to what is going on with Bitcoin right now. What is going on with Bitcoin right now? So honestly, I kind of feel like this is a bull trap. From remembering different things like Rona, when Rona was happening in China and all these different places, like gangbusters, the market did not care. And it was going to all-time highs. People were like, okay, well, market doesn't care about that. And then one fateful day, all hell broke loose. And it dropped. This kind of feels like that to me. Also, this is like same thing. Sam Bankman-Fried, They announced it, market didn't care. Then 5 or 6 or 7 days later, boom. So I don't know. I'm gonna see what happens. Like 3-6 seems like a good day to me because the 6 and all of that, and 3-6s. But we'll see. 3-6, 3-8, maybe. We'll see. But after 3-8, if nothing's happened by 3-8, I might just say, okay, well, we'll just chalk this off as we were wrong on that. But let me share some things here with you where it's kind of like, oh, all of this is happening and Bitcoin's going up. On March 3rd, so 3-3, Federal Reserve is experiencing a service disruption, delaying ACH payments across the entire U.S. banking system. We are monitoring the situation closely and would anticipate ACH transactions will be delayed today, March 3rd, for the most of the current status of Federal Reserve ACH functionality. View the status page. Crypto outflows from Iranian exchanges spiked to 10.3 million between February 28th and March 2nd, following U.S.-Israeli airstrikes. So, Noblix, Iran's largest exchange, their traffic jumped up like 700%. So basically, all the money is coming out of crypto in Iran. And here we have bombs drop, crypto move, Noblix, 11 users, 7.2 billion in 2025 volume, bled 10.3 million in 72 hours. Okay. Iran's largest exchange, handling 87% of the country's total crypto transaction volumes, like spike in volume, spike there. So all of that's happening, and okay, and I'm trying to find it here. Also, relating to ZEBEC here, Facet had, and they're based in like kind of Dubai, in the kind of Dubai-ish area. Facet had it where they were down for a second. So Facet was down for a second. Like, of course, I think everybody's assets are fine, but all of this is happening, right? All of this is happening, and okay, here we go. Official service update. We are currently investigating a temporary service disruption affecting the Facet app resulting from a regional Amazon Web Services outage in the UAE region. And that's having to do with what's going on with the war type of thing. And with the war, you would think that, okay, it's wartime, people are going to rush to silver and gold, not Bitcoin, but silver's down right now. Bitcoin's up. Of course, oil is up. We nailed that in the Patreon. We absolutely nailed that. And oil's seeming to rise even further here. Okay. I was going to try to wait for it to come back down. I closed my long on it. But it's kind of high up here on the RSI. I think I'll try to wait for it to come back down before I jump back in here. But oil, of course, the whole Strait of Hormuz type of thing is booming. Is booming. If we go look at that here, Iraq shuts down the world's second largest oil field following the Strait of Hormuz closure. Iran is closing the Strait of Hormuz. Over 20% of the oil supplies, the global, realm-wide oil supplies are halted. Okay. And they were saying that they expected it to impact bonds, stocks, crypto, and US dollar, but Bitcoin's up. What? So, honestly, I'm thinking this might be a bull trap, where they take it up a little bit and something happens, like Iran retaliates, or nobody can get oil, so the oil prices continue to hike up, and then the whole Jake Claver domino theory stuff happens, where oil prices are so freaking crazy, the reverse carry trade gets initiated, prices of Bitcoin fall, prices of gold falls, prices of silver falls, and XRP is the only savior. That's where we're at right now. This is really, the domino theory is where we're at right now. And shout out to Abs of Good Evening Crypto. I would definitely go check it out. He did a show on it, I think, here. Let me see if I can pull up the show. We won't necessarily play it, but I'll at least show you the show so you guys can go check it out if you want to know what this domino theory is all about. Let me pull it up here for a second, so you guys can go over there if you want to. Shout out to Abs, another content creator I really, really respect in these YouTube streets. So we won't play it, but we'll show you the title, and if you want to go over there and take a look. 24 hours, XRP domino theory activated. It's from like 4 days ago. Iran oil spike, Japanese yen crisis with Jake Claver. Okay, so he did a nice little quick show on it. If you want to understand what this domino theory is and why they're thinking that XRP will really benefit from what's happening there, I would suggest you take a look at that episode. But to me, and Jake says it in this episode here, that if the domino theory actually enacts, Bitcoin is going to go down. Like, it's going to go down, as in the price is going to go down. Not like it's going to go down to zero, Dan Pena type of stuff. No, but like the price will go down. So, yeah. So for whatever that's worth, I think this is like a bull trap here. But this is just speculation. Be light on your feet. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait until like if the dust hasn't settled by like 3.8, 3.9, then I'm gonna say, okay, well, Blood Moon didn't have no effect. It just showed maybe the macro bottom of Bitcoin, which was what? Yeah, somewhere near here we got down to 61 or something like that. So maybe the Blood Moon actually just signaled the bottom of Bitcoin, and we go up from there. But that's not what I'm thinking. I actually think this is a bull trap, and then the next couple of days we feel it. Okay. What's going to be the catalyst? Could it be the war? Could it be the reverse carry trade, like Jake is saying here? Which I think, of course, also he's saying it's the war as well. So let's see. Let's see what happens there. Regarding the earlier comment from a sub, XLM will do payroll non-ZBCN false. XLM is designed for settlement batch only, and Solana is way faster than XLM. So, yep. There's all those points. That's why I would say whoever said that, they might not necessarily be very researched on ZBCN. So if that was Black Swan Capitalist who said that, I would say maybe he's not the most researched on ZBCN, which is fine, right? You know, we all get things wrong sometimes. Retracement is why Canton is down. Yeah, let's look at Canton, because I was kind of saying that Canton was in a, like, I think Rob and I said this when I was on the show, that it's in like a, what do you call it, ascending wedge. But it was starting to look like, especially, it was starting to look like a cup and handle. Like it was going to be like that. But you can see here though too on the day chart with this RSI, looks really good to bounce back actually from here, from this 15.5 area. So actually this seems like a pretty good spot to buy, to be honest with you. Yeah, this looks like a pretty decent spot to buy. Yeah. 2-day, 3-day. Okay, so yeah, honestly, it kind of looks like a good spot to buy right here. But again, if we get the whole war thing, it could be lower. You know, again, you don't have to make a binary decision, like I'm going to 100% buy now, or 100% not buy now. You could always buy 10% now, wait and see if that actually pans out till the 8th or the 9th, and then buy more then. You know what I mean? That could be the tack that you take. But yeah, on the chart, it actually kind of looks like a really good place to buy, as far as Canton's concerned here. But yeah, it looked like an ascending wedge, but then it kind of was looking cup and handily. But yeah, according to the stochastic, really looks like a good place to buy right now. Like, it's probably not going to get too much better than this. But again, yeah, like, look at that rounding. The whole cup, if we're saying the whole cup and handle type of thing. Look at how it's rounding out right there. This is really looking like the bottom. If you go down to the lower time frames, it's really looking like a bottom, but pause. It's really looking like a bottom. Looking like a Nicki Minaj type, juicy bottom right here. But yeah, following the play for me right there on the Nicki Minaj.
How dare you?
Okay, so let's continue. D Curry, is 250K going to be enough? Well, if ZEBEC hits $1, are you happy with 250K dollars? I can't say what's enough for you, right? For me, I have my plans. I know what's enough for me. I know what I plan to do. I know what I want to do. I know what I plan to do. I know what I want to generate, right? And, if you guys want to hear more about that, you can ask me in the Patreon, You know, we can definitely have that conversation in the Patreon as far as what I plan to do. But you know, it's 250K if it hits $1 enough for you. But if you think everybody's going to get out at $1 and you're trying to kind of, you know, be the person that pre-plans to get a jump on the competition, then maybe you want to get out at 75 cents. Maybe you want to get out at 50 cents. Now, if you're doing that, okay, is 125K enough for you? I can't make that decision. This is all you. You have to make that decision for yourself for sure. But I know for sure there's going to be some ZEBEC that I never touch. It will always earn passive income for me. I will just hold that baby, that bad baby forever. But of course, I will take some profit. And if it gets down to the 0.0015 area, I'm definitely going to buy some more. What's up, D Nelzoni in the house? Bro, have you done a deep dive on SEI yet? If true, 6.5 cents to 19.5 cents in no time. Well, this is kind of part of the deep dive on SEI. I want to do some more deep diving on SEI, D Nelzoni. I want to do some more deep diving into the CEO. And I was looking at the CEO today. I was like, there's something like he was involved with Robinhood, which is interesting, right? So I want to do more of a deep dive on the CEO and see some connections there, would say. But everything that I'm seeing so far with this connection with the cell phone is looking really, really good. The price that is at right now, like 6 cents, 7 cents, it's looking really, really good. You know, I'm really liking it. Really liking it. You spent 48 hours on SEI just now. How dare you? How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you? I mean, this is it. Like, I feel like a macho man is needed for right now. Let me see which one. This is not gonna be good in context, but I just want to play one right now.
Didn't need them then, don't need them now.
Macho. So, like, R.I.P. Macho Man. Let's see here. Yeah, I did the deep dive on SEI already. I guess that was only you might have missed that part. But I want to do more. We're going to be doing more talking about SEI in the future episodes. Will 2,000K be enough? Well, we covered that. The USA now controls the Strait of Hormuz, which means 20% of the world's oil will flow better than the tyrannical regime. 47 years of BS is gone, bullish for the economy. Well, according to what they're saying now is that we don't control it. I don't know. I don't know how you go in and get rid of the ruler, but you still don't control the strait. I don't know. So we'll see. Right. For sure. Hitter all day. Hitter all day just says like nothing personal against CJK for him. He's just not into the memes, and that's fine. Gronk, world payroll. Okay, got you. Thank you. So Cloud says, Cloud 99 frequent watcher. Thank you, brother. Says the world payroll is actually 60 to 65 trillion. Okay. 60 to 65 trillion. And again, if we get a calculator out, if ZEBEC can hit just 1% of that market, let's do the 60 trillion here. Okay, if ZEBEC can get just a percent of that market. We're talking about a I think I computed that wrong. It would be 600 billion. Actually, I didn't do my zeros right with the trillion there. My bad, y'all. 1 second. Oops. There we go. So times 0.1, or not 0.1. Gosh darn it. 0.01. Okay, right. So, like I said, so $600 billion. And that's well over, if we do market cap of that's well over XRP's price right now. And again, when I'm doing this comparison, it's not that I'm comparing XRP to ZBCN. I'm just using the market cap because that's the closest market cap that will give me what I want as far as like 600 billion. Okay. So the comparison is for the market cap, not for XRP itself. So that's 210 billion is $2.15, right? So double that would be $6 and change. $6.45. So yeah. But again, if you're looking at trying to get out at $1, or you're trying to play the game where you get out before other people, that's something you got to keep in mind. What's up, Lay Square? New Jersey in the house. Patreon member in the house. Let's go. I just need ZEBEC to hit a penny and I'm solid. There we go. Crypto Dragon Emperor. Total world global tokenization, all assets on Earth eventually. 1.1 quadrillion now, and 3 quadrillion by 2032. Think 1 in 10 goes to Canton. Yes, indeed. Processed by Canton, non-market cap, that is. Okay, yep. Future so bright, if you know, you know. Is Jay Claver owning these ZEBEC? I only saw a previous YouTube clip where he said he doesn't own these ZEBEC thoughts. There's multiple ZEBEC clips, or there's multiple clips in where he talks about ZEBEC. If he doesn't own it, I don't know, but he spoke very well of ZEBEC, in 2 different clips, and I've showed them before. Again, if you want me to show them again, I can hunt them out and hunt them down, and we can show them again tonight. But he speaks very well of ZEBEC. You can't worry about what another hand owns, dude. Do what's best for you, not others. Really, yeah. That's the way I really do it, right? Because different people will come out and say, "Well, I sold all my XRP. Bitcoin is the way." Like, I think it was like one of the Cardone brothers did that. He was like, "I'm selling all my XRP. It's Bitcoin. So it's like what can you do? And then one person will come out and say, you know, I sold all my Bitcoin and I got XRP. Like you know what I mean? Like just be clear with your own research. Be clear with what you want. Let's hit $10 XRP first, then we can look at the bigger digits. Yeah, well, a lot of people think that it's going to be a flip of the switch moment where all of a sudden XRP is at $1 and then it's up. And kind of like I can believe that, because if we go back here and we look at XRP's chart, they're always like they're always flip of the switch moments kind of with XRP. And that Trump hit office 50 to 340, right? They did what they did with escrow, 45 cents, then 22 cents to $3, right? So could there be a flip of the switch moment where it goes $1.42 might seem crazy to like go like to $32 or something like that. But I could totally see a flip of the switch moment where it goes from like $1 to like in a quick amount of time, mind you, like a month, and it's like at $19 or $18 or something like that. Let's say $18 because or 19. Let's say $19. I could see a quick flip of the switch moment where something like that happens. In fact, somebody was saying something like that. Let me see if I got that on bookmark. This guy. So he was saying XRP is on $18. There it is. XRP is on its way to $18 first. Wave 4 is complete. Wave 5 is starting. Enjoy the show, XRP Army. So he's basically saying this, like if you want to try to decipher this, but he's saying like ABC, it hits the ABC, and the next kind of push up in this fifth wave is to $18, right? So really, really interesting. Could that be, right? But then at $18, that would mean you would need, what would it be? Let's bring that calculator right back up here, my friend. You would need that much XRP, basically. You would need 55K and 555 to hit $1 million, right? So let's just clear this and do times 18. And then you basically got your $1 million XRP right there. $1 million worth of XRP. But how many people probably right now own? I mean, I'm sure there's a fair amount of people that probably have this much XRP. You know, I'm sure there's a fair amount of people that have that much XRP. But then again, if it gets to $18 and you just completely sell out at that, well, you know, I can understand. Maybe you want to just walk away with $1 million and that's it for you. That's all you needed. But again, if XRP is $18, where's it back? Even if ZEBEC fails, which it won't, mere speculation alone from the driving force of 230K BTC and $9,000 ETH will surge ZBCN to 12 cents, 50 cents before it, if it were 50 cents before if were to be known to have failed. Gotcha. ZBCN is verifiably no longer debated as a scam, and that's all that matters. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Like, you see them now in the room with Brad. You seeing Simon in the room, keynote speaker with Brad Garlinghouse and friends. At that point, you kind of have to believe, okay, we made it, right? Again, there's always the FTXs of the world where you got Sam Bankman-Fried talking with Gary Gensler and stuff like that. And what can you do there? What can you do there? You know, FTX had some of the biggest and best partnerships and whatever. Like, you did the research and you just got screwed. But again, based off the research, we see Simon in the room speaking with Brad Garlinghouse, CPO of Solana, COO Caleb Brown, and CIO of Bitwise. Bitwise is going to have one of the biggest ETFs coming up. 12 different altcoins, with Canton being one of them. It's a lot to like. And Canton, of course, being a partner of ZEBEC. There's a lot to like. The intro is a mic drop. Okay, you like the intro? Okay, we'll have to keep the intro then. Saw for the duct inspectors. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for saying that. Verzon is a smart boot, but I totally disagree with him on ZBCN. The path to $1 is wide open, brother. Yes, indeed. XML, XLM, excuse me, XML. That's some coding type of stuff right there that I have in my head. XLM speed is great for batch cross-border transfers with thousands of daily transactions per person. On ZBCN and Solana, XLM has no chance and doesn't want it to be for their niche. Yeah, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's a good comment from you, Christopher, there. And that's why you got ZEBEC partnered with Stellar. Like, Stellar's going to do what it does. ZEBEC's going to do what it does. And ZEBEC's apparently the payroll portion of that. Stellar doesn't need to do this. But I think both parts are integral for the interledger to work properly. 22 Iranian ships were sunk so far. Hormuz is going to be a part of U.S. shipping lanes. No crash. Okay, let's hope so. I've been saying ZBEC can hit $1 since the last time last year. I've been holding before then. Now it's definitely more clear that it can, especially with all that's going on with ZBEC. Star that comment. And that's the thing right here. Like, the path for $1 has never been clearer. We have a company here that continuously gives us updates. They're always open and forthright. Well, sometimes I think Simon is sandbagging. I think he sometimes has stuff that's already in the works that may even have been like they're like done, they're finished, but they're choosing the opportune time to announce it. Sometimes I think Simon is absolutely sandbagging out there. But but again, as far as always giving us daily updates, always giving us new information, they do that for us. They do. So shout out to Simon for that. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to down him or FUD him or anything like that. But honestly, it's really actually a tip of the cap to him too, because he waits for the best time to announce the information. the time that's best for ZEBEC, the company, and this is what you want out of a CEO. You know, shout out to him. Shout out to the founder, Sam Tapalia. Shout out to that whole ZEBEC family over there, the whole ZEBEC crew. Yeah, definitely. I think, hold on to all the information until it's optimal to release it, Simon. That's completely fine. New Moon 23X bought more today. Yes, indeed. Of course, folks thought I was tripping by saying no, only 0.5 to 10. Nope, I saw it $1 a long time ago. And see, I was saying that to be very conservative to our audience. I hate. Again, no disrespect to any one creator, but I hate the people that are like 100x crypto, 100. It's going to 1000x. This is going to do that. I despise that. Early in my career, I did that. I was like, okay, no, this is not the way. Because I saw other people doing it. I won't mention any names, but now, for a very long time now, I do not do that because I feel like it's irresponsible. So, I'd rather be conservative than promise the moon and make people feel like, okay, this guy is just he's just coming out here spotting out numbers for views. That's not what I'm here for, and I hope you guys appreciate that. I'm not just gonna give you a number for views. That's not how I'm cut. But I'm gonna try to give you the most conservative thing. So hey, what is it like? Under promise and over deliver type of thing. Okay, if we're saying 5 cents to 10 cents and it hits 30 cents, you're gonna be very, very happy, right? But now with all the news that we've gotten, Canton partnership, All Unity partnership, World Mobile partnership, Deutsche Bank partnership, NatPay, FedNow, Swift partnership, probably something coming with the DTCC, probably something coming with USAT, Tether's regulated stablecoin, probably something coming with SEI, probably something coming with Kaya. We already got World Liberty Financial aboard with their USD1, the president's freaking neobank. With all of these things rolled together into a nice big pie, along with the super app, along with being the genesis of money, being that payroll, the moment a person makes money, they're getting paid via ZEBEC. Roll all that together, you got to have more than 5 cents, 10 cents now with that. So at that point, yes, I'm all this news that we got, I'm comfortable to say, yeah, my estimate is beyond 10 cents. I truly believe that $1 could be possible this year if everything is turned on like we expect everything to be turned on. Right? But I still put that caution out there because we thought we would get the Clarity Act a year ago, right? So if we can get the Clarity Act by April, like everyone's saying, Garlinghouse and Armstrong and all of that, and everything's A-okay with the super app like we've been promised, then yeah, maybe $1 and being a top 50 crypto is very, very possible. Reminds me of how Kamala Harris was like, how dare you say Merry Christmas? Oh, did she say that? Oh, man. Shout out The Real Deal Big AI. Dude looks like Mari. Who looks like Mari? I was wrong. Chat got GBT said that the total world assets to be tokenized one day, which it will be because it's a must, is 1.7 quadrillion, not 1.1, which equals 1,070 trillion right now, which is great. And we know like Canton is right there. Like to think about that, Canton and possibly even ZEBEC very soon will be partnered with the DTCC, and the DTCC clears all the realm, all the world's money. Again, another reason to think that this coin can this token can make it to $1 here in 2026. LOL, no worries. If you have 20K or more, you should be good, according to Phantom Beat. Salutations, Rue. What's up, Detroit? XRP 313. Okay. Yeah, it's been a great show, guys. Definitely, if you made it to the end, put say into the comments once the live stream ends. It helps spread the video around. And you know what? I will play an outro of the video that I usually do for the intro. But it seems like you guys like it. Let me know in the comments. Do you want to continue with the intro video? So let me go ahead and play it as an outro.
We always asked ourselves, living in the US, why is it that everyone gets paid every 2 weeks or every month? Why can't payroll be in real time as workers, complete their tasks and deliver value? And the question always came down to the friction of payments. So how do you eliminate or reduce the friction of payments? That's how ZEBEC, born in the blockchain, came to be. NatPay's innovation is that they were the first company to join FedNow, and they launched a product called NatPay Now, which enables them to do payroll same day. This is huge for employers because employers no longer need to fund 2 days in advance. We're talking about hundreds of billions, if not trillions, in annual flow just through this 2-day savings, which is why we chose NatPay over all the other processors out there, because they were aligned with our vision as ZEBEC for real-time payroll. They are a member of FedNow. They're ISO 2022 compliant, which is a key milestone for ZEBEC this year, as well as we beef up our compliance.
Effectively, as you say, is a neobank for the unbanked, for people who don't have a bank. So you're able to spend money, earn money, send money, and looking at your website, you can stake, and there are some investment products there as well. You don't need a bank.
You don't need a bank. That's the perfect way to end. And then shout out to Breather Easy. Shout out to the Stablecoin Podcast for those clips. And we're out, guys. Peace.